All right, we got the vet on the lift. You guys know what that means? Obviously, that we're working on the vet. It has been a while since I've done anything to this car. I've just been driving it. I pretty much daily drove it for about 2 years. And once we did the initial mods, it just kind of has been that way since. So I'm kind of excited to work on it and do some stuff to it. It's as much as I want to be working on the Miata because it's so close to being done and I'm just teething to drive that thing, I'm excited for a change of pace. So the plan for today is to try to get the transmission out. Transaxle, I don't know if this is considered a true transaxle because it's transmission bolts to a diff. But anyway, goal is to get that out today. So we've got another handful of things on the list to do to this car before the giveaway ends. But one thing I want to mention, a lot of people ask me why I think C5s are great cars for the money. Just simple stuff, they're meant to be a track car. You can see that the floor pan is completely flat, the exhaust is tucked up, you don't have any fuel lines hanging down, you don't have frame rails to scrape. You could slam one of these cars. The oil pan is above the subframe, but the point is it's meant to be a track car. It's meant for aerodynamics underneath. It's got aluminum subframes, double A arm front and rear. They're meant to be track cars. I think it's such a bad rap because of all these old people that get them because they can finally afford them and they just putz them around, but they're actually really dope cars. They're a lot more performance oriented than a lot of these cars that we all idolize. But anyway, I think it's interesting. It feels like a lot of people don't know that. I definitely didn't know that. I thought they were just big, heavy American cars, but they're pretty dope. So yeah, we got to yank this trans out. I was thinking we'd have to pull the whole torque tube because this is transmission and then you've got your diff. So I was thinking we would have to pull the whole torque tube out and trans and drop the subframe, but it looks like we should be able to pull trans, diff, and subframe all as one unit, which shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, no, it shouldn't be too bad. We'll have to unhook all this wiring and e-brake cables and stuff. Being optimistic. I've also got to do some different angle mods for the car. I'm not sure which ones I'm going to go with yet, but I need to get those ordered ASAP so I can put them on this week. Organizing his beautiful Miata parts. I'm not coming back there. Don't worry. I won't let them see the beauty that is Ben's organization because it's beautiful and you guys just wouldn't be able to handle it. All right. So for the first time in a long time, I actually tried to look up kind of the procedure on how to do this, try to find some information because it's something you've never done like this. There's always these weird things that you don't know. Like the shift linkage, I would have probably forgot about that, but there's a shift linkage that I need to disconnect. There's it's you can do this 3 different ways. You can take the diff out, then the trans out. You can take the diff, trans out together. You can take the diff, trans, and torque tube out together. And I can't find any good articles on all of those things or any of those things. So I know the main things to avoid, not letting the engine angle, tilt back and hit the firewall and all that kind of stuff. So we're just going to kind of wing it. We're just going to go for it. Start disconnecting stuff, do what's logical. That's what I've usually always done. So just gonna send it. No, not send it. That's lame. We don't say that anymore. Alright, update. Covered in dirt, which is always fun. But it's the weather. The past 2 days in Florida has been phenomenal. It could be 10 degrees colder, and that would be perfect. But it's pretty close. I'm sweaty because I'm wrenching hard, but it's so nice. It's so nice compared to what it's been. Anyway, let's see. I got the upper control arm unbolted, coilover unbolted, e-brake cables out, got the whole wiring harness pulled out, brake lines unhooked, brake calipers, not unhooked, but unhooked from the subframe, brake calipers zip tied off to the side. What I need to do now is go in the car and pull the shifter linkage because supposedly there's a roll pin in the bell housing-ish thing, if you want to call it that, of the trans. But I can't even get my hand up there. I don't know if it's external or internal. There's just not a lot of information that I can find on this, but I'm bad at finding this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go in the car, pull the thing out. I need to replace the USB cable to the head unit anyway, so I'll pull the doubled in setup. I'll pull the shift center console plastic trim area out and undo that shifter thing, and then we can try to drop it down and see what we forgot. Probably forgot a lot. I've never done this. All right, I got the center console area torn apart. Let me show you on the other side. So the shifter rod, man. So it bolts in right there. So as you can see, that should be moving, but it's not moving because we don't have the rod connected. There's a half moon shape, so it kind of has to line up for the bolt to go back in. So anyway, got that done, which like I said works out because this cable is fried, and it does weird stuff like disconnects and stuff when you're using CarPlay because this head unit has CarPlay, which is really nice. I've been meaning to replace it forever. I've just been too lazy to take all this apart, but we had to anyway. Yay! goes to pull trans, pull interior apart. Life. One other annoying thing, the brake lines wrap under the diff and then come up here. So there's no pulling this out without disconnecting the brake lines. So I have to disconnect them there. And then up here where my handbrake is tied in. So at least it's only one connection there. So I'll just disconnect it from there and then at each wheel well. I guess I'll drain all the fluids, drain the trans, drain the diff, unbolt the bell housing bolt for the trans, and then we're gonna try to take it out. I think that's everything. I think we can leave the exhaust in because it goes up and over everything. I don't think it'll be a problem. If it is, we'll deal with it. Brake lines are disconnected, both there and there. I didn't drain the diff because I didn't need to because it's sealed and we're gonna be reusing it. Got all the bell housing bolts. That's a tongue twister. Bell housing bolts out, except for this one. It's like the last one holding it in. All the wiring's disconnected. Man, these were really easy to get out. My little guy, this thing saved my life because I had to get it up in the top of the trans tunnel and the big boy wouldn't fit. This thing handled it like a man. Killed it. I love this thing. You guys asked me what my thoughts were on it, so I should do a tool time. This thing is amazing. What's the part number? 2554-20. Stubby impact kit. Amazing. Now we get to see what we forgot. We'll loosen the main subframe bolts. We've got 4 of them. Loosen these guys. Just break them loose and then drop it down, kind of set it on rollers, and then we'll wrap them out, see if we can kind of come down and out with it. Seems like what we're supposed to do. When I say we, I mean me, while Ben messes with his dirt bike. He's going to be here for the pivotal moment, though.
When it falls on him, I'll be here to save him.
Yeah, thank you. Me, Ben, and pretty much every other drifter I know are pretty hooked on FR Legends. Is that what it's called?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's
FR
only
Legends.
on iPhone. Isn't it?
It's so fun. It's for a phone game. It's solid.
Yeah.
We have full sim rigs and we play this. Doesn't make any sense.
It's such a chore when you play with the Rift.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we tried to pull it out twice, but Ben's research suggests that these dowel pins, you can see the one there and the other one is up there, you can't really see it, get rusty. So I've soaked them in PB Blaster and then we're gonna heat up the case of the trans and try again. We got everything undone. It's just hard because it's not like a normal transmission where you can grab a hold of it. Like in a sense you have more stuff to grab onto because you have the subframe and everything, but it's just hard to get a good pull on it, but we'll figure it out. We have to. I have a choice. I do not want to pull the whole torque tube out with it because that would require taking the exhaust off, taking that whole plate off, bleeding the clutch again. Like it just would be a whole process. There you go. Cool. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I don't know how we're getting there back in, but hell yeah.
All right, well, that is what a Corvette rear cradle looks like out on the ground. All in all, it wasn't bad. Like the actual steps leading up to it, super easy. As far as pulling the cradle goes, really not that bad. The hardest part was just getting it out. Like we literally went up and down probably 10 times fighting it. Every step of the way, we tried to ratchet strap it to Ben's truck and like use a ratchet strap like a come along, and it didn't do anything. What ended up seeming to work was just heating up the dowels. I sprayed some PB Blaster in them, let it dry, and then just torched the hell out of them. That seemed to work. But even when we got it to break loose and we had a gap, which it seemed like that's normally when it just boop comes out, it still didn't want to come out. People say you can knock the roll pin out of this to take this off, but I don't even know how you would get to that. Like I feel like the only way is to pull it this way. Oh, is that roll pin to pop it out of the joint? Like how would you get to that? I don't understand. Because the bell housing covers this whole section. Well, that's not even an inspection hole. That's the hole it comes out of. I don't know. I really don't know. All in all, that was pretty simple. Besides it fighting the hell out of us to just come out. Probably an hour and a half worth of work.
Only took 2 hours to actually get the trans to split.
Yeah, basically. Played some games for a little while. Then tried again. Needed fresh minds.
FR Legends brother.
I feel like people are gonna think that this is sponsored. Like, I wish I could get one of those sponsored plug things for that game because it's a super cool game, but we just like the game. Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna call it for tonight. I'll strip this down tomorrow, and then hopefully I can take it to my buddy to either get rebuilt, or at least I'm gonna at least have him check it out, and then that way I'll know, you know, if it's worth rebuilding or not. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you. Wait, no. Okay, bye. I'll see you. All right. It's crazy to see how many different tools I had to use to get this thing out. It's like big impact for one of the brake caliper bolts that was too tight. Normal size for most of the other stuff. 3/8 for some of the other stuff. Super small 3/8 for the bell housing bolt. Electric ratchet in both different sizes for two different things. Drill to drill a hole in the plastic to mount the brake caliper out of the way. I guess we didn't use this. We didn't use this little guy, but like 7 out of 8 of my electric tools we use. So there's not a whole lot to do today, honestly. Kind of got a late start. Nice in the afternoon. Weather's decent. It's kind of a nice break that I don't have a ton of stuff to do every day. Like with the Miata, it's like every day I've got a day's worth of work that I need to get done. Whereas right now, it's kind of like a little break. I mean, there's not much I can do on the Vette until I get the trans back from being rebuilt or buy another one. Speaking of, since it's relevant, Driftvette giveaway is still live. We got about a week and a half left, which means I really got to hustle on this. I kind of waited till the end on purpose. One, because I needed to get the Miata off to paint and I knew I'd have a big break. But two, I know once I get the trans fixed and I drive it around with a properly working trans, it's just going to be so much harder to let it go, because trans worked fine when I bought it. About 2 weeks later, second started grinding, and it's been like that ever since. So I just go first to third, which is fine. But like when I can go first to second, shift like a normal car, it's gonna be like a whole new world. It's one of those things, whenever you go to get rid of a car, you fix all these things that have been bugging you forever, but you haven't cared enough to fix, and then you're like, wait, why am I getting rid of this thing? But anyway, yeah, we got this tee in 3 different colors. We've got a couple other cool Driftvette tees. Got a really nice garage built hoodie, super soft, so comfortable. I wish I could wear it, but we live in Florida, so I'm not gonna be able to wear it for probably another 2 months because it's like 80 degrees right now. Every $5 spent gets you an entry. I mean, we got key tags, stickers, like everything. There's so much stuff on there. So if you guys are interested in supporting the channel, you're interested in winning the Driftvette, you're interested in cool merch, all those things, go to the link below, check it out. You know, and huge thank you to everyone who has entered so far and everyone who is planning on entering. You guys are really what's gonna help me realize my vision for the channel and start doing all these different budget builds. Like, I'm so excited. I gotta start planning the first one out now, because based on the numbers, I think by the end of the giveaway, we should hit our goal, which should give us enough to cover, you know, the first budget build, which is sick. So anyway, just want to say thank you. So now on to pressure washing the whole rear cradle. This is gonna be a real satisfying pressure washing time lapse. Alright, now that she's all cleaned up, we just need to pop the trans off. It looks like there's 2 bolts here, 2 on each side, and there's probably 2 on the bottom. No, that's it. Oh, I didn't get that with the pressure washer. I think that's it. I think it's just 4 bolts. All right, well, I think that's enough hard work for the day. I'm exhausted, long, rough day. I think I'm gonna reward myself with some go-karting. Nah, but seriously though, me and Ben are gonna go go-karting. He wants to get some practice in before the next league night, which is in 2 weeks, I think? 2 weeks, yeah. So we're gonna go, have fun, race each other, try to get some good lap times, probably bump into each other, probably crash like I always do. Should be fun. Should be a good time. And I need to pick up some oil absorbent stuff because I've got brake fluid on the ground there, which is dried into a stain already. Cool. And then I got trans fluid over there. Gear oil. Okay. See you guys at the car place. Karts, this thing's super slow. Oh, this is way better. Now we gotta see if we can catch Ben on cold tires. I just need like 1 more lap. just barely passed him on the last lap. Fingers crossed that this kart doesn't suck. This one feels pretty good. Oh no, it's the same thing. It won't turn to the right now.